Any real old school watchers of mine, like from when I was a 7 Deadly Sins channel, probably know how much I love Jericho. In fact, I made this same video nearly 3 years ago. Luckily though, that atrocious video is private and will never again see the light of day, so think of this as a new and improved version. A character analysis of Jericho and why for me she is 7 Deadly Sins' best girl. If you find yourself entertained at any point during the video, then consider liking, subscribing and ringing that bell, as I can't explain to you how much such a small action can do for this channel. Also, if you want to support me further, my book Gang Full of Justice is available on Amazon.com. Anyway, on with the video. Jericho is a character who struggles throughout the series due to their insecurities and their love for Barn. In specific, she is insecure about two main aspects of herself. First is her weakness and second is her gender, which in a way are also tied in her mind. Jericho is a character who, when first introduced, was annoyed by her gender, or more accurately annoyed by how her gender made her weak. She was treated less so as she was a woman, mocked and lusted over by her men, and this is the reason she wore male armour and was first mistaken for a boy by Barn, as she associates being male with being strong, which is in part due to her admiration but at the same time envy of her brother, a strong holy knight who is a man. The reason she is an apprentice holy knight and desires to be a holy knight in full so much is in pursuit of this strength she associates with the position as a result of her brother. One of the main reasons she hates Barn so much in season 1 is because he toyed with her as if she was a child. Her strength was lacking and he, a man, made that abundantly clear. It also didn't help that he stripped her bare, which of course would have made her hate her female body even more so. She became a holy knight to become strong, to surpass her brother who she hated but at the same time admired. However, her weakness was made blindingly apparent when she tried to defeat Barn. This led her to despair and humiliation, only made worse so when the Weird Fangs were defeated and Golgius left her alone with a strategic withdrawal. She was left alone with her feelings of worthlessness and her hatred for Barn, and she had no way to relieve those feelings or anyone to confide in. She was alone with her negative emotions. And when she was given the red demon blood, these emotions of worthlessness and anger became full-on bloodlust. Bloodlust for Barn, the person who showed her how weak she was, and was the target for her anger at the same time she drank the blood. Demon blood brings out your negative emotions and amplifies it, so for Jericho she became obsessed with killing Barn and proving she is strong. In this state she believes she is strong and so no longer is ashamed to be a woman. She has attained strength despite being a woman and so can no longer blame her gender for her weakness, and can actively flaunt it in front of Barn, the person who mocked her for her gender and defeated her with ease. But after drinking the demon blood and beating him down, she is able to reconcile her hatred for him somewhat by finally admitting to herself she is a woman. And even if this change happened when she was filled with demon blood, it was still a positive change. It helped Jericho to embrace her womanly side and learn to not blame all her problems on being a woman and on Barn. She takes great pride in hacking up Barn at the Vital Festival, as her rage is being amplified and the target of said rage is Barn, the person who showed just how weak she was. However, at the same festival she is bested by King and then Diane, showing her that she still has a ways to go, something which spurs her on in pursuit of strength once more. But unlike at the Vital Festival, from this point on she is more calm and less bloodlusted, as even if she is still pursuing strength, her hatred has simmered down at least a little. In the battle in the capital, Jericho cannot understand why Gila would change sides, as she is still fixated on strength and power rather than what really counts, those you care for. Something Gila, despite having taken in demon blood, still understands. When the new generation transforms, Jericho is among them, but thanks to Barn she is saved. Throughout season 1 she is very much influenced by Barn. She stopped acting like a man to prove her womanhood to Barn and to prove her own strength. Her goal was to beat Barn, not only to prove her strength but also her womanhood, something he mocked her for. And then when he saved her, she developed different feelings for him, not ones of hate but of love. She says it's because he saved her, but I think it's more deeply rooted than that, as even if it took a dark demon detour, her life did improve from meeting Barn and her life choices were for the better, and those were all influenced by him. Now from this point on, Jericho's character very much revolves around her unrequited love, which becomes quite stalkerish when you consider she left the capital on a dime to follow and then travel around with Barn. Now Barn didn't seem to care too much, so it's not particularly an issue, at least to him, but for Jericho this was an issue, as the love was unrequited. Barn had met his true love, and that would never change. However, Barn still does tell Jericho that she is the first human he has ever been able to get on with, which may I say is a fat F to Escanor, but shows that he really does care for her, even if it's more like a wallet or a little sister. He protects her multiple times in this series past this point, as besides Meliodas and Elaine, she very much is one of the most important people to him. Jericho gets shy when her feelings for Barn are ever brought up, but it's not like she is secretive about it, as she genuinely does love him, not just due to him saving her, but due to him having an overall positive impact on her life and helping her to grow as a person. This love though is put to the test, as Elaine is resurrected by Melascula's spell and is reunited with Barn. This scene is very much telling of Jericho and her feelings. She's enraged by Elaine in this scene, but not due to the fact that she's with Barn, as she has accepted that Barn loves Elaine, not her. She wants Barn to be happy, and if being with Elaine is what makes him happy, then so be it. What she is instead angered by is the fact that Elaine hurt Barn, as to Jericho there is no greater sin than hurting the person you love. Jericho couldn't even imagine hurting Barn, and it hurts her to see the person that Barn cares for more than anything hurt him again and again. As the trio flee from the commandments, Jericho carries them on her back. No matter how injured she got, or how many times they tell her to stop, she refuses to drop either of them, as Barn is the man she loves, and Elaine is the one most precious to the man she loves. So for that reason she cannot give up on either of them, a real testament to her love for Barn, as he means that much to her. However, although she may have accepted that she and Barn can never be together, and that Elaine is the only one for him, she still cannot shed her own love for him. It's unrequited and she knows that, but even so she can't help but love him. As getting over things like love isn't that easy, Jericho struggles with this fact and stays with Barn even though she knows they will never have the relationship she wants them to have. It's the type of unrequited love that doesn't harm the other party, but can still weigh on yourself. Something quite relatable to a lot of people, myself included, and is something that can take time and effort to overcome, something Jericho truly understands. The end of Season 2 overall is quite an impactful time for Jericho. Firstly, she has accepted she cannot be with the person she loves, even if her love for him wasn't diminished one bit. And second, the brother she envied and admired is dead. The lesson she failed to learn in Season 1, but that Gila already knew, was to protect those you love above all else. Gila's desires, even after taking in the demon blood, was to protect Zeal. Jericho though was obsessed with strength, anger and envy, so for that reason only after Gustav was gone did she realise how much he meant to her, and how the whole time what she should have been doing as a holy knight was to protect her precious brother, just how he protected her time and again. As Gustav was a true holy knight, as he was one who saved his loved ones even at the cost of his own life. Gustav was a key aspect of Jericho's desire for strength, as she wanted to surpass him to prove she is as strong as him, but also to make him proud of her. However, this didn't happen. He died protecting her as she was too weak to stop herself from being captured. She never got to show him her strength, and worse yet, she was saved by the power she envied. She never even got to talk to him in the end, and never heard the praise he gave her with his last words. At Gustav's funeral, her desire for strength grows even stronger than before, not out of envy for her brother, but out of a desire to make him proud and become a greater holy knight than he ever was. And in a way, this new desire to surpass Gustav helped Jericho to detach herself from Barn and stop using her feelings for him as a crutch. She developed her magic powers and so could forge herself a new path, this time one not dictated by Barn. She becomes a strong holy knight, one trusted to guard the gates of Leones during the demon attack, and put everything she had into becoming a strong holy knight. Not out of envy for her brother or out of hatred and then love for Barn. No, she did it to honour her brother's legacy and to become the true holy knight she wants to be. The last appearance of Jericho in the series is when she is told about Elaine giving birth and rushes off to give the couple her blessing, as even if she has gotten over her unrequited love for Barn, he is still precious to her, as is Elaine, as the holy knight protects those things precious to them. And for Jericho, this is her precious friends Barn and Elaine. Sins overall is a story about love and friendship, a topic which may be the subject of an entire video in the future, and although many characters are able to end the series with their beloveds, not all do. Gopher, for example, will only ever love Nadja, but even though she is gone, he is still standing strong, as his memories of her alongside his friends is enough to keep him smiling. And the same is true for Jericho. She may never have gotten to be with Barn, but she can still be both his and Elaine's friend. As there is more to life than love, friendship can be just as important. Overall, Jericho is a masterfully written character, exploring the ideas of inferiority, envy, unrequited love, loss, and coming to grips with yourself. She is my third favourite character in the entire series, only beat out by Escanor and Barn, and is easily my favourite female character in the series. And although she doesn't get much love in the community, I still love her as one of my favourite female characters in fiction, and as a masterfully written and relatable character who will always bring a smile to my face whenever she's on screen. And if she shows up again in the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse manga, you know I'm going to be grinning cheek to cheek. Comment of the week comes from Islam Mohammed, and if I made you feel bad for the Royal Guard, well, the video did its job. If you have any opinions on Jericho or 7 Deadly Sins as a whole, then tell me in the comment section down below. And if you have a suggestion for a future video, then again the comment section is funny enough down below. Also don't forget to check out my Twitter at SevTheSin for channel updates and just general chatter, and my DM's always open if you want to chat to me directly.